Hello, and welcome to Ms. Pam Reed's Christian Content, where we are continuing in Abscond by G.G. Wagner. And in our last video, Lyzee, Gwen, and Peggy are heading up to the cabin with the baby, Jamie Quinn, because the adoption has not gone through yet due to Milo's contesting it. So now we are in the section entitled Courtroom. Lyzee reached down for the drawer under her seat, placing her phone there for safekeeping. Pleased with how easily she had been able to bend, she looked up from just below the dash and caught the full view of the historical red building looming ahead. All of the dread she had been pushing out of her mind flooded her in that moment, and she could feel her heart sink. Jamie's life, along with the hopes and dreams she had, were out of her control. She allowed her eyes to scour the sidewalk until they stopped on Peggy, who seemed to be engaged in a deep conversation with a man in a business suit. Annoyance crept in as she looked around, everyone going about the day as if this was normal. Lyzee squeezed her eyes tight. Please give me the strength to get through this. She looked up toward the heavens, pausing before pushing her car door shut. Every step felt like she was walking in quicksand, her attention fully focused on her feet. That is, until Lyzee was startled by a resounding voice next to her. Well, hello there, beautiful, Milo said. Lyzee stopped walking. Her body began to tremble. Seeing him in the daylight, he looked even older. Regret and shame filled her. Reaching up, she covered her hot cheeks with her fingertips. You need to keep on walking, sir, Peggy said. Peggy had stormed over and was standing protectively by her side. Lyzee turned her eyes downward, not wanting to look into that face. He looked so old. Okay, I guess we can fight this out inside. Milo winked at Peggy as he sauntered past. Are you okay? Peggy asked. Yes, I just can't believe he is doing this. What does he want with a baby? Lyzee asked. I have no clue. None of this makes any sense, Peggy said. Lyzee felt Peggy's firm grip on her arm as she led her up the courthouse steps. The building before them was stark with a domineering presence. She felt the tremble of her insides, wishing this was over. Hello, I'm Allie from the law office of Howell and Griffin. I met you briefly when you came in a few months ago. Lyzee smiled weakly as her eyes darted around the small foyer. The dark wood from the floor carried up the walls and continued onto the ceiling above her head. The heavy door creaked shut, and her eyes struggled to adjust to the darkness, the dim bulb casting only a meager amount of light in a windowless space. Follow me. I'll take you to your seat, Allie said. I'll find one close by, honey, Peggy said. Lyzee turned in the opposite direction, trailing closely behind the girl that had seemed to put her instantly at ease. She observed the hushed quietness of the room with only a few people scattered amongst the rows. She stopped abruptly, nearly running into Allie, who had paused to allow Lyzee to pass through the gate. There were 2 tables positioned on either side of the room, each facing the judge's bench. You will sit here, and Mr. Douglas there. Mr. Griffin wanted you to find your seat and settle in before things get started. Do you have any questions? Allie asked. I'm really nervous, Lyzee said. I'm sure this is a nerve-wracking process. Mr. Griffin is good. I know he will do his best. And Judge Gray has been doing this a long time. She has an outstanding reputation. Don't worry. You're in good hands, Allie said. It took the strength of both her arms to pull out the heavy wooden chair. Lyzee's back stiffened as she sat. The chair was every bit as uncomfortable as it looked. Leaning back, she turned her head in search of Peggy, but instead her eyes met Milo's. He was coming down the center aisle toward her. Angling her head, her hair hung around her shoulders to hide her face. She hated how her body reacted when he was anywhere near, his smugness seemingly mocking her at the slightest glance. The tissue she clutched in trembly fingers was damp, and her cheeks were filled with heat. The weight of her guilt caused her shoulders to round, her chin resting nearly on her chest as she felt his glare on the back of her head. Judge Gray had a soothing voice that was easy to listen to. Lyzee could feel her muscles relax ever so slightly, relieved that the hearing was officially underway and would soon be over. Fidgeting in her chair, she was careful to block the image of Milo in her peripheral vision. It was bad enough having to look at his sleazy lawyer. Your Honor, I appreciate your time and expertise in considering this delicate matter. My client is a law-abiding, God-fearing family man. He just wants to do right by his child, his biological offspring. There is nothing in this world that would make him happier than to take care of his family. Lyzee was having trouble hiding her facial expressions, yet he was getting to her, just like Peggy had said he would. She watched as Mr. Griffin eased out of his seat next to her, his demeanor gentle and his speech confident as he stood before the judge. Your Honor, I would like to present the court with Exhibit A. Mr. Griffin handed a document to the bailiff. It seemed as if time was standing still as Judge Gray studied the document in her hand. Lyzee's leg was bouncing up and down underneath the table like a spring. In an attempt to regain control, she placed pressure on her knee and it stopped, likely from the sheer shock of her frozen hand. Lyzee thought, how many times has Mr. Douglas contacted you since he was notified of the pregnancy? And give us a dollar amount he has provided you during this time, Mr. Griffin asked. He returned one phone call and has contributed 0, Lyzee stated. The courtroom was quiet. Only the ticking of the large round clock on the wall could be heard, and it seemed to tick louder in the silence. Lyzee reminded herself to breathe. I didn't really know her that good. It wasn't like she was my girlfriend or something. She was an assignment for my job, Milo said. Lyzee's eyes widened, the air seemingly sucked out of the room. She found herself staring at him in disbelief. What did that even mean? She wondered. Her mind raced through past interactions with him. His job? All of that is really irrelevant. Yeah, that's right. Irrelevant. I would like to redirect, if I may, Mr. Dabney, Milo's lawyer, said. I think it is pertinent to this case. I would like to hear what line of work Mr. Douglas is involved in, Judge Gray said. I'm an independent contractor. I do work for a modeling agency. Milo said. Could you give us the name and what role you play in that organization? It is the Angel of Light Model Management Group. I do a variety of jobs, but what I was doing as far as Lyzee was concerned was following up on targeted girls, Milo explained. The struggle raging within Lyzee prevailed once more, her leg bouncing with renewed fervor beneath the table, the confusion mounting with the expression on her face hard to hide. Your Honor, may I now present evidence? Milo's sleazy lawyer asked. I hate to be disrespectful, ma'am, but the pictures I'm about to submit are a bit on the racy side, if you know what I mean. Pangs of heartbreak settled down to her core as she realized what was being presented. Hot, searing tears slid down Lyzee's cheeks as she hung her head in shame. How could she have been so stupid? Mr. Griffin's voice broke the silence in the room. Lyzee's head lifted to search his face, listening to the change in his tone. His demeanor transformed and his voice was abrupt. With a timid glance, Lyzee noted every eye was on him. I call Ms. Elizabeth James to testify. My client was coerced by this man, whom she believed was her boyfriend. Let us keep the actions of Miss James in perspective. She believed that Mr. Douglas was an 18-year-old high school student that lived with his mom and dad and little brother. Believing he was in love with her, and as presented in the document to this court, he had expressed 82 times that they would marry after their high school graduations. Mr. Douglas took advantage of the vulnerable state she was in. The evidence supports that Mr. Douglas had knowledge that Lyzee's mother was an addict and there was no father in her life. He also knew about the tragic loss of her closest friend and used that to manipulate her. Ms. James, could you please explain to the court how you came to know Mr. Douglas? Mr. Griffin asked. It was through social media. His profile name was Milolus 99. He sent a friend request that I accepted, and we chatted online exclusively for 3 months. I received a DM from him in November, expressing interest in meeting in a private chat room, which I did, Lyzee said. Milolus 99. Did you ask for a name? Mr. Griffin asked. Yes, he told me it was Milo Douglas. Did you and Mr. Douglas exchange pictures? Mr. Griffin asked. Yes, I sent my school picture initially, and he sent family pictures showing his mom, dad, and brother, supposedly, and with him. The person in the photos, I learned, was not him, and I still don't know who it was, Lyzee said. Your Honor, the pictures submitted are dated. I would like to draw your attention to the year of each one, Mr. Griffin stated. Did you feel pressured by Mr. Douglas to send provocative pictures? Mr. Griffin asked. Yes, he threatened to break up with me if I didn't send them. He had convinced me that he was the only person left on this planet that cared about me, Lyzee said. Lyzee, you stated a fear of him breaking up with you. So as far as you were concerned, this was a relationship, not a work thing, correct? Mr. Griffin asked. Yes, definitely a relationship. I had never heard of a modeling company until a few moments ago, Lyzee answered. How old were you when this relationship began? Mr. Griffin asked. 17, Lyzee answered. The age you were when the first provocative picture was sent? Mr. Griffin answered. 17, Lyzee answered. How many times did you and Mr. Douglas meet in person during this relationship? Mr. Griffin asked. Once, because of the distance. He had told me he lived in another part of the state, 6.5 hours away. He made a plan to take me out on our first date on my 18th birthday, Lyzee said. The memories flooding her as she spoke caused her voice to quiver. She plucked another tissue from the box next to her, dabbing at her eyes. Her breath caught in the thickness of her throat, a silent struggle before a high-pitched gasp exploded. Aware that she was a spectacle in the room, Lyzee pulled out another tissue, her nose running almost as furiously as her eyes. The court will take a short recess, Judge Gray declared. Lyzee stood and was ushered from the stand by Allie and led to a quiet room across from the courtroom. Peggy and Mr. Griffin joined them almost immediately. You're doing great. This will be over soon. I plan on calling Milo to the stand when we return. The other side will have an opportunity to cross-examine you if they so choose. Just answer truthfully and don't over-explain unless asked to do so. Back in the courtroom, Lyzee was instructed to sit in the witness box, and she perched on the edge of her seat behind the blinding spotlight. The lawyers stood in front of the judge's bench in another heated, whispered discussion. We have no questions for this witness, the other lawyer said, and Lyzee was excused to return to the heavy wooden chair next to Mr. Griffin. We call Milo Douglas to the stand, Mr. Griffin stated. Mr. Douglas, will you please tell us the date of your birth, including year? Mr. Griffin demanded. I plead the 5th. What the heck is that? The room was quiet, eerily quiet. Lyzee could hear her stomach growl and was sure that it had echoed in the silence. Mr. Douglas, do you have a steady flow of monthly income? Mr. Griffin said. No, sir, but I have plenty of money, Milo said. Can you explain to the court where your livelihood comes from then? Mr. Griffin asked. I do jobs for the group, like I said, and they compensate me for my services, Milo said. Can you provide a work schedule for the court? Mr. Griffin asked. No, I'm sort of on call. Sometimes it's in the middle of the night when they call me to transport the girls. I've driven clear across the country on several occasions, Milo said. Can you explain how you came to know Lyzee James? Mr. Griffin asked. She was targeted through social media by my contact. He sent me her information. With her look and background, she was prime for the organization. I befriended friends of hers first before reaching out to her. I used my alter ego for this, my younger self. My job is to screen the girls to see if they would be a good fit. I told my contact that Lyzee was not going to work out because she was a Christian. Those kinds of girls have integrity. I fell for her, though, and continued to pursue her for myself. She was younger than most of the girls I date. That's why I waited until her birthday. She needed to be 18. I don't go for any of that illegal stuff, Milo said. You could hear a pin drop in the hush of the courtroom. Lyzee was in shock, her mouth gaping open, not sure if she had remembered to breathe. Milo coming into her life had all been calculated. Everything he had said and done was part of this plan to deceive her. She felt tension mounting, settling behind her eyes. It made her head throb. Please stand for the reading of the verdict, Judge Gray announced. Mr. Douglas, the court is terminating your parental rights of the child in question today. Evidence has revealed a willful failure to support on your part. It has also been evidenced that there is questionable legitimacy of your employment. My decision today has been founded in the best interest of the child. The court is adjourned, Judge Gray declared. In the safety of Peggy's car, Lyzee attempted to speak, her phone resting on the side of her face, the tears streaming like floodwaters being released. She could not remember ever feeling this cold. Her insides quivered. It was over. She would be tormented no more by the fear of Milo getting Jamie. She knew Gwen understood better than anyone this horrible feeling, knowing that you are forever separated from your child. She choked out the words in a few syllables at a time. It's over. The judge terminated his rights. Jamie is free, Lyzee cried. Whew, okay, we went a little long on that, but I don't know. It was kind of intense and I didn't want to break it up. I just kept reading. All right, you guys. We're thankful that Milo doesn't get the baby. Yay. I hope you're enjoying the story. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.